Stellantis CEO, even for a day? What would I do to the company? Let's talk about it. Guys, before I get into the video, we got to talk about the giveaway here on the channel. The Dodge Durango Hellcat is closing out tomorrow night. If you want to get in on it, extra entries are up between now until it closes out with the best possibility, with the most amount of entries for you to be able to win. Link in the description down below, tk'sgarage.bigcartel.com. So, in some shit that would never fucking happen, let's talk about it. Somebody gets a wild hair and decides to make somebody CEO that should never be the CEO or have power in any company or government ever in the existence of the world. What would I do? Well, let me grab my iPad. We're going to go over some numbers, and I tell you what I would do at Stellantis and make it not only profitable. We're going to love it here in America. I don't know what they're going to like in Europe because I'm going to make some drastic changes. All right. Without further ado, let's get into it. And for me, the first brand that I would sell or get rid of is Lancia. Yeah. They're a company that's been around for almost 120 years. All right. It is an Italian brand. They've had some great rally cars, all of that stuff, right? I would package it together with Maserati and offer it to Ferrari. Now, it's funny because it is, they're basically sister companies. Ferrari almost has the same people from the board of directors that we do with Stellantis. Exor being the major holder there, John Elkins family. Look, if they want to keep it, I'd offer it to Ferrari first. I'd say, hey, here's the thing, Ferrari is looking for something that they could put out on a mass production scale, and they could do that with Lancia. As an EV, they could put out an EV with Lancia. They could put out a lower cost Ferrari, put those engines or those power plants in the Maserati like they used to do. And Ferrari meets that need there for a volume option and would probably make the Italian government happy to do that, right? If Ferrari says no, fuck it, selling it to China. Straight up, bye. Maserati, Lancia, hey, Cherry, you want this? BYD, you want this shit? Come get it. Gone. Making tough decisions. I'm not telling you that it's great. I'm not telling you it's great. But that's 2 brands gone, right? Brings us down to 12 brands. As much as I hate Peugeot, it has to stay. It has to stay. I'm gonna butcher this effing name. Citroen, whatever the fucking French trash this is. Been around since 1919. And they have a wide range of vehicles. Everything from vans. Now, the funny thing is, they literally are just rebadging shit that is made by either Fiat or in some cases Ram with the Rampage and other stuff. They're just rebadging shit. I don't see them as a big money mover or anything that's gonna help the brand move forward. I just don't see it, right? Especially with the electrification shit falling flat on its fucking face. I don't see it. So for me, gone. Now, somebody else could buy them. Somebody in Europe, Tata could have them if they want. The Indian, somebody else would buy them. I wouldn't be surprised at all. The next thing I would probably get rid of, all right, now, so that's gone. We're down to 11 brands, and we got some good cash flow in because we've sold these other brands, right? So now Stellantis has some good money on the books. We can do some other shit. Now, I know you're going to say, well, what about, Abrath or Fiat? They're staying. They're staying. I'm sorry. Especially in the Italian market, they're staying. And I know this will probably piss a lot of people off, but because we just sold Maserati, but I would take Alpha and I would upscale it. I would take Alpha and upscale it. I would take platforms that we're building here in the US, like the Charger, and give it a supercar-esque fucking body kit. Like totally different body, same size fucking car, and put that Alfa Romeo badge on it with a Hurricane in it, straight up. And I think Europe will be all over it. I keep that brand. Yes, it's probably going to cost me money to keep that brand. Another brand that I would keep that I know that they've considered getting rid of, DS. DS I would keep, and I would make DS because it's fairly new, right? It's not a brand that's been around for 100 years. But I would take DS and I would obviously get away from the electric bullshit. But I would take DS and I would make it the Bentley of Stellantis. I would make it I have fuck you money, I want a DS. And I'd bring it to the US too. I'd bring DS to the US. And I would build land yachts. I'm talking Rolls Royce-esque type shit. 7 Series BMW type shit. That's what I'm building with those cars. I'm putting I'm borrowing engines if I got to from Ferrari. I'm building insane shit with DS. Base model car from DS, $250,000. That's what I'm talking about. Build. That's what I would do with DS. And if that's not feasible, fuck it. Bye. Shut it down. I know Peugeot would probably fucking lose their fucking minds over it, but they better be happy I ain't cutting their ass, because I would cut their ass too. The only reason why I'm not is because they got too many seats. They got too many people that have influence on the board. It'd never happen. I'd never be able to sell the shit. I ain't stupid. But sit down and shut up and let us run this thing properly and make everybody some money. That would be what I would say. Shut the fuck up. Opel. Opel has such a strange history, man. It is literally the girl that has been passed around. Opel is for the streets. Opel has been having them cheeks clapped by everybody from General Motors to fucking to British brands. I mean, Opel is the chick that has definitely been passed around, but still kind of hot. So you'd still hit it. You know what I'm talking about. Like, never mind. But German company, so German brands, Opel does good in Germany. Duh. It wouldn't surprise me to see BMW invest in or maybe partner with Stellantis, with Opel, to do what they weren't able to do with Mini. And what I mean by that is have a low-cost EV and gas option with BMW tech, just like what the partnership that BMW has with Toyota, with the Supra. That's a fucking BMW, iDrive, and the whole nine. Opel could do the same thing. They could come out with, 2 Series or smaller vehicles with Opel branding and sell those in Germany as a cheaper-esque BMW. And as they do well in Germany, you can start exporting that shit. You could put it to other places in Europe. Hell, you might even be able to bring them over here to the US. It's very rare. I see an Opel every once in a while, like once every 2 or 3 years. I see one of them old-ass Opels on the road. But I think it could happen. And it's not like they have a ton of cars there anyway, right? I think they make 2, maybe 3. Maybe 2. But I would partner with somebody like BMW. Fuck Mercedes. We're not partnering with those fucking bums. But would partner with BMW. And And I know someone's saying, well, why not Mercedes? Listen, when Mercedes has to get engines from BMW, that should tell you what's going on with Mercedes. They're a fucking disaster right now. And don't talk to me about Volkswagen either. Fuck them. But Opel, yeah, I could see them being a budget / food stamp BMW that Stellantis partners with BMW to do. And if not, sell it. Sell it. Why are we holding all of this shit that is literally dragging down the fucking stock price in the company? Get rid of this shit. We don't need this many fucking brands making the same shit. It's like General Motors on crack in the 80s. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Don't need all this shit. So we'll get rid of that. And I know you're going to say, well, what about Vauxhall? Well, Vauxhall is literally just I don't want to say a food stamp edition of Opel, but they make some of the same shit with a different brand on it. Now, they are primarily in Britain, right? They're an English company. Fuck them. Sorry, I'm Irish. I really don't have any fucking patience for that shit. Offer it to the British family and tell them, hey, do you guys want this shit? Because if not, we're shutting it down. Or we're going to sell it to the Chinese like MG just to fuck with y'all. I would sell it. I would sell Vauxhall. This would be a petty corporate move. I would fucking sell Vauxhall to the Chinese for a Starbucks gift card. Let them completely destroy the brand. Petty. Told you. But I don't know. Would they do that? I don't know. I don't think the board would approve it. They probably want to sit on that for whatever reason. I don't know. Whatever. But then you have some other shit. Like I see Stellantis is into these car sharing services. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not a horrible thing. I see some of the lease stuff that they have as a company. But the brand, now I know you're going to say, okay, well, what about Chrysler? I'm going to say some shit that people are not going to like today. I would give Chrysler 36 months. That's what I give them before I hit them with the lethal injection. What I mean by that is I would give Chrysler 36 months. I would have Matt get his design people together and redesign the Charger to look like a Chrysler 300 or a Concorde or some other Imperial, some other Chrysler fucking name to bring that out. Being that I think Chrysler is going to go a different direction in terms of not trying to compete with Mercedes, not going to compete with Mercedes and or BMW. I don't think in the future. I don't see that happening. I think they're going to go in a different direction. I don't want to. I have some inside information, so I don't want to talk about it. But I think they're going to go a different direction, and it's going to be more vehicles for the masses, and maybe have some luxury components, but just be more affordable. Okay, so I would give them 36 months to develop and launch a car. I would take Chrysler and I would immediately take the Wagoneer and I would rebadge that motherfucker as a Chrysler Aspen immediately. That'd be the first thing I do. Like I'd direct Matt to do that immediately. And it can go down the same fucking line. It's not like it's hard to build that shit. It's not hard to do either. A boot animation for the fucking screens, some different stitched seats, a logo for the fucking grill, and some Aspen badges. Like, it's not like you have to redesign the fucking Wagoneer. Just call the goddamn thing Aspen and put it out there, and people will buy the shit. Maybe you have a custom engine option. Maybe you put the Hemi 5.7 Hemi in that bitch, and you only can get it if you buy it from Chrysler. I don't know. Those are options. I think you put that out. You put a car out, and if you put out the cheaper 30,000 sub car is coming for Dodge, I think you make a Chrysler version of it. Don't even have to look different. Just put the Chrysler badge on it. And before you go, that doesn't work. Sure it did. It worked like a motherfucker in the 80s, so miss me with that shit. I've seen the Chrysler Sebring and the Dodge 600 convertible. Same fucking car. Same car. All right? The Omni, what was the other fucking shit for the Omni? You know what I'm talking about. The little hatchback shit box. And they called it like 3 different names across the brand. Same effing car. Same thing for the shit. There's so many Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodges that were all the same car. It's not even funny. So they could do it. You give Chrysler a shot. You give them 36 months. And if they don't show some sales growth, sorry, but I would probably shelve it. I wouldn't sell it. I'd shut it down like Plymouth. And I would totally change what Chrysler would be at that point. If it doesn't work going like from a value proposition, I change Chrysler completely at that point. And I do Chrysler like I did DS. And I make Chrysler some extra, super extra fucking shit. I start hiring engineers and retards from China to come in to make all that same shit that they put on the Y9 and all these other SUVs that can float and fucking drive on water and all that shit. And I put that in a Chrysler. And then I come out with that vehicle for $250,000 when I relaunch it 5 years later or whatever. I think Chrysler has a chance to be successful as a brand if it's played correctly, especially if they go value proposition. I think it could work. Got to be honest, I thought about it. I really wasn't agreeing with it when I heard about it, but it could work. It could. Now I know you're going to say, well, you didn't mention Jeep. I don't got to mention Jeep or Ram. Those 2 brands carry the entire fucking company of all these brands. They pay all the fucking bills. Those are the 2 chicks out there with BBLs on the corner steadily going to work, man. Them, I don't know how to explain it, man, but I can tell you right now, they're not going anywhere. Well, you didn't say anything about Dodge. I've heard all of the bullshit from the press and the reporters and the other writing their fucking articles that Dodge is getting left behind. Y'all are all fucking retarded. Like, retarded. Sorry. Dodge ain't going anywhere. The Durango, think about this. A vehicle that hasn't been redesigned. This is like the Crown Vic of fucking SUVs. Ain't shit changed in 11 years. It's the same fucking SUV. I could buy a Durango from like 2012 and make it look like a 2025. Think about that shit. Not shit's changed. An 11 plus year old SUV sold 20,000 units already in the first quarter of this year because it's a value proposition. It is the best value that you can get in the automotive industry right now. And I think Ram's about to follow that. I think Ram's going to drop something that's going to be very have parity with a V8. Because I already know somebody at Ram is going to tell me we have that. It's the Midnight. Fuck that Midnight Edition. Fuck that Pentastar shit. Fuck all that lame ass, weak ass, plastic engine V6 bullshit. That's the other thing I would do. Get that shit the fuck out of here as CEO. Gone. We're not making that shit. We're making Hemis. We're making V8s. We're going to make Hurricanes. Yeah, I know you'd probably be surprised about that. You'd be making Hurricanes? Yeah, 100% I would. I'm not putting Hurricanes in 5,000-pound vehicles or 4,000-pound vehicles. Why the fuck would I do that? I'm putting V8s and shit that should be in there to power those vehicles in those vehicles. I'm putting Hurricanes in midsize and small cars. I'm putting Hurricanes in mini trucks. I'm putting Hurricanes in minivans. Shit like that. I'm not putting Hurricanes in fucking boats. Sorry. That shit would come to an end. Just saying. And I don't give a fuck about how much horsepower it makes. I would change the brand to rival, and I don't give a fuck what it costs. I would change the brand to rival the myth that Toyotas are reliable now, because Toyota is literally living off a legacy that they made years ago, because them shits ain't as reliable as they used to be. So please miss me with that shit too. There's a reason why BMW has climbed up the reliability ratings, because they started technology sharing with Toyota and learned a lot of different ways in terms of how to build their electronics, how to do shit, so they lowered failure rates. I would do the same thing at Stellantis. 100%. I would get a Japanese method to that shit and call it a fucking day. And that'd be it. So the other thing is, in terms of the brands, that's where we would be at. But we'd also have to change stuff with the company. And here's the other thing. This is why I said, they don't ever want to let me be in charge of anything like that, because I'd be hard-nosed about it. Now, here's the thing. I got a lot of friends that are in the UAW. You guys know this. I get a lot of shit. I get a lot of stuff from my sources that are in the UAW, okay? I'm not a Sean Fain fan at all. But there's a lot of other local presidents and people around those locals that are in authority that I do deal with, and I think would have to sit down and have a conversation and renegotiate these contracts. This contract that Fain signed, which a lot of you guys in the UAW agree with me, is a fucking disaster. It's caused a shit ton of your brothers and sisters to get laid the fuck off. Now, I'd probably be the best CEO that you guys could ever have when it comes time for profit sharing. Because I'm not dumb. I look at the numbers. I'm invested into the company, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I see the same shit that you guys do. You guys ain't getting no fucking bonuses. There's no profit sharing bonuses like GM and Ford are doing. You guys got to be pissed, right? We're giving millions of dollar bonuses to fucking executives and shit at the company. I know it's got to piss you off. We'd change that. That shit would have to change immediately. Fuck that. If the people that are coming in that are building the brand and building the stuff that puts the name on the road every single day, and they're coming to work. Now, I'm also going to be honest with you. The ones that play the game in the union with the like not coming to work or not doing shit and all that shit, fuck out of here. Got to go. Like, we're not doing that. That's why I said, like, I'm a balanced individual when it comes to how I would run shit. I've been in business for a long time. I make a lot of money doing what I do as a defense contractor because I come at this shit from a common sense perspective, and I would come at this company at a common sense perspective too. Shit has to go. Shit has to change. And I come from it from a maybe a little bit different perspective because of my careers over my lifetime, right? So I get it. But I think having a workforce that shows up and is proud to work there, and a workforce that we take care of so that we don't have these bullshit layoffs. And then if something does get hard, we still can pay our people. We don't have to lay them off. That's the kind of company that I would want to build. That's the kind of company where I would be at. At the same time, I would have to negotiate with your presidents and your local presidents on contracts that make sense. Because there's a difference between, I'll give you an example. How do you think the union feels right now about what happened at Spirit? How do you think about those 17,000 union employees at Spirit that just got told, fuck it, there's no company anymore? What's the union going to do for them? Seriously. Nothing. They're not going to do fucking shit. They're going to get whatever severance they can get out of that bankruptcy proceeding, and that's it. And that same shit could happen with Stellantis if the right contracts aren't written. Was the contract that Fain signed for the UAW historic? Sure it was. But it was dumb for business. I could tell you that right now. It's the reason you don't get bonuses. It's the reason why motherfuckers get laid off left, right, and center. Just saying. So, not to make this video super long, because we've already gone way too long as it is. That's just some of the things that I would change. I know they're going to be like, I can see the people in Europe now, fuck this guy. We're not selling shit. We're not doing shit. Maybe not now. Maybe you don't do anything right now. Maybe Filosa doesn't do a goddamn thing right now. But I can tell you this, time's ticking. And numbers and money don't lie. you're only going to be, these other brands are only going to be an anchor around your neck so long before you can't tread water anymore and you fucking drowned. So decisions have to be made. And he was right when he said that last summer, that decisions are going to have to be made, that brands may have to be cut. And I know because I was actually on a phone call, listening on a phone call about 2 of those brands getting cut last summer, and they didn't. They didn't. Oh, and for you guys at Peugeot that are so fucking mad because I get all your internal shit, and get better security. Because listen, I ribbed Tim and Matt and shit about how bad Ram and Dodge security is in terms of like your fucking emails and your communications and your memos and shit that you send out to different staff. Peugeot is the worst security of the entire auto group. I don't want to give away free shit to Stellantis to plug the holes, but that's the freebie for you. When I get shit that I'm not supposed to have sometimes from Ram and Chrysler, for example, I get it from Peugeot because their fucking systems are a fucking disaster. Oh, I know the Peugeot family ain't gonna like that. I don't care. Don't care. The only thing I give a fuck about is where that stock price goes and that the brands that I care about, and that's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, succeed. I don't give a shit about none of the rest of that shit. That's why I can never be CEO, because I'd be biased. But I'm willing to bet anybody that has financial knowledge that's watching this video today probably agrees with everything that I fucking said, or 90% of it. And I'll bet there's going to be some executives that'll watch this that'll be like, this motherfucker. Yes, this motherfucker. That's why I better never be in charge. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll never be the CEO, so don't ask. Stay petty, my friends.